Hi class, today I'm going to show you how to do your layout page with all of your different tie patterns in one page. To start as normal, you're going to making a new, you're doing this in Adobe Illustrator, so you make a new Illustrator document. You want to make it a letter size document, 8.5 by 11. You can name it here, or you can name it when you save it. We'll call it tie layout. I'll say OK. So the first thing to do is you're going to have to bring in your ties. This page, I asked you to put the tie images on, but also a little bit of text about each of the ties and some kind of a headline, because I want to see how you can use the design elements to arrange the page. So the first thing to do is to bring the ties in. The ties are now done in Photoshop. They're raster images or bitmaps or whatever they are. You probably saved them as PSDs. So we're going to place them. So we'll do File, Place. You go to the place where you saved them. Mine are on my desktop in a folder called Tie Project. If you remember, I put the word group after my name so I would know what they were. So there's one, place. So there's that one. I'm going to, you see it's too big, but I'm not going to reduce it yet because I want to reduce them all the same. So I'm going to show you how you can do them all at one time so they get reduced the exact same size. So I will place my next one, which is, let me see, they all say group. So I did pagoda group. Here's the fish group, place. Now I want to deselect it because sometimes what happens if it's selected and you do a file place, it will replace that image. So just to make sure that doesn't happen, I deselect it first. File place. Let me see, my next one is the wave group, place. File, place, and which one did I not put in yet? I did the pagoda, the fish, the stripe group I didn't put in, place. So now they're all four in there. They're on top of each other, but that's fine. I'm going to, using the black direct selection tool, I'm going to select all of them. I know they're way too big. I can take a corner and move them down, or I can also use this scale tool if I double click it. Let's say I want them, let me start out saying 50% because I know I want them to be much smaller. If you notice I said 50% uniform, meaning it'll do width and height both at 50%. You don't want to do non-uniform because then you'll scale them out of proportion. So okay, so there they are. Let me just see if that's going to be small enough. Deselect, grab one. Since there's four, it's pretty easy to do a layout like 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's not going to be small enough to fit them all on here. So let's, this time I think I'll use the corner and I'll just sort of scale them down a little bit more. Holding the shift key so they stay proportional. That's probably plenty small. So now, thinking about the design principles, how you will set them up, things like align, proximity, things like balance, all of those design principles that we learned. You might also want to line things up. You might want to use your rulers, guidelines, which you need the rulers to get. So I'm going to do Command, Control on a PC, R, or up here under View, rulers. You want to make, when your rulers are up, then you can get guidelines up. So I'll do a guideline here so I can line these two up. I'll do a guideline. These have to come away from the edge of the page. You don't want to crowd the edge of the page too much. I'll line these up. You can also look, see that little green sort of tip that comes in there that shows me I'm lining them up centered. So I could do guidelines this way, but because I paid attention to that little green thing that said I had them lined up, I don't have to. I had them lined up without that. So now I have a nice, neat page that they're lined up pretty well. I left more space at the top for a headline. So I'm going to call this my Japanese-inspired tie collection. So I'll use my, I'm just going to click. I don't need to make a box because it's just going to be one line. So I'll click Japanese-inspired collection. All right, but now obviously that's way smaller than I want it to be. So let me bring up my type menu, character. First of all, I'd like to have a nice typeface, something more interesting, more interesting than that. So let me see what I have available here. I have quite a few fonts. Do I have anything that looks vaguely Japanese? Maybe not. Well, let me try this one. This looks kind of interesting. Oops, I didn't have the words selected. So, I'll try luminary, kind of like that. And let me make it bigger because that's not big enough for a headline, I don't think. Let me see, 36. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, so what I have there now is, yeah, I kind of like that. It has a, maybe I'm going to move the headline over and up a tiny bit. Now, something you can do, you might like to, rather than have black text, maybe match something in your, for the headline at least, match something in your ties. Maybe use one of those colors. Repetition of colors is a good design principle. So with this selected, I can use my eyedropper tool. And let's say, what if I wanted it to be light blue? Not bad. Maybe not real, doesn't stand out much. Maybe I'll go for a slightly darker blue. Maybe this one. Yeah, I like that. All right, so next I want to put some text about each tie. Always think when you're adding text, how the combination of the text and the images creates the message that you want to put in on there. So some things maybe you don't have to say, like I wouldn't have to call this a striped collection because you can see that there's stripes. I wouldn't have to say this was a wave. You can see it's a wave. What can I not see? Maybe I can't see, I certainly can't see what fabric the ties are made from, so maybe I would call that out. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put text within a box. So let me get up area type tool, and I'm going, oh, that's not the one I want. What I want to do is I want to create first a box. The reason I'm doing this is because I want my type to be able to stay within this box when I come to the end of the line to wrap around to the next line. And if I had the type in just on a click like that in one line of type, I would have to hit return each time I wanted to go to the next line. Then if I wanted to change the size or the configuration, I'd have to change my returns, which is a lot of work. This way, if I take my, and I just go right on the edge of the path, and now it becomes a text box, and now I can type into it whatever I want. So I'm going to type in this collection of Japanese, well, I don't want to say Japanese inspired. Oh, and look, I've got, let me, before I go any further, make this into, I wanted a more readable typeface. It doesn't have to be the same typeface as the headline. I want something simple that I can easily read. So maybe I'll go with, I always like this Myriad. It gives you lots of options. Myriad, and that's way too big, so let me bring it back down to maybe 12 point. Yeah. I'm not going to say Japanese inspired ties again. If I double click into the type menu, it gives me back the type tool. I'm not going to say Japanese inspired again because I said that in my headlines. That's kind of repetitive. So this collection of, I'll say 100% silk ties will, and this can be kind of hypey advertising type copy. We're thinking this is a layout page. Will bring back memories of your vacation on the Japanese islands. That's kind of, all right. Maybe I want to have a price. What would be a good price? You can just make this up. $30 each. And that's all I probably need here. So now, because I have this text here, sometimes the text might be the same, like all the ties are probably in silk. So I'm going to copy and paste this. Then, oops, that's not what I wanted to copy and paste. All right, get my text, copy and paste, and bring it over to here. Once again, I want to line it up with everything the same pretty much. I'm going to copy and paste, select them both, copy and paste, and move them down here. All right, so you might want to come in here and change the text for the different ties. Like This would kind of apply to all of the ties, especially if they were all $30. But let's say maybe this one's a little more expensive for some reason, whatever reason, I don't know. Maybe this one is, maybe rather than saying, we'll bring back memories of your vacation on the Japanese islands with all of them, maybe say something different here, like this collection of 100% silk ties is as powerful as the wave it depicts. You can get as wild as you want to here with the copy. Period. Just be sure that you double check your, spell check, read it over again, make sure you're not making any mistakes, because this page I will grade on your correct spelling and everything too. It's not just on how well the design is. So that's how you do this page, and you're going to pretty much change the text how you want. And that's it, it's done. You could list the colors if you want to, but you don't have to. They're visible there. But if you have nice jazzy names for the colors, you might say available with a golden in the background of gold, or fire red, or sunset red, ocean wave blue, or, so if you want to call out the colors, you can. You can pretty much say anything you want to in this text. I'm not looking for you saying the correct thing. I'm just looking for you saying it correctly, and for making a nice configuration with the text and the photos and the headline, so that it all looks, it's an attractive and well laid out design. So when you're done with this, you're going to save this. Now, as you save these files, before you upload them into the folder, which I haven't put on Moodle yet, but today I'll be putting a folder on Moodle for you to upload. This is the file you're going to upload. You're going to also upload your cover and a letter to the, powerful, look, I spelled it wrong. A letter to the buyer who you're, from the department store that you're trying to sell these ties to. You can make up a buyer's name, a store's name, I don't care. I just want to see you can write a proper business letter. Remember, samples of the sales letter are on Moodle. Read them over again so that you can understand what should be included. That letter you can do in any program you want. If you do it in Microsoft Word, just upload the Word file. I can open that here. Any files, though, that you're doing in Adobe Illustrator, just in case, I think your version might be newer than what I have, but also I won't have the same fonts. So if you upload the AI file, what'll happen is when I open it, it'll be missing the parts, and I won't be able to see it to grade it. So what I need you to do is do a save as. When you're done with it, you can save it as an AI if you want to, but you must also then do a save as, and see where it says AI here and down here, format, Adobe Illustrator. Click on that arrow. You need to save it as an Adobe PDF. And then a PDF is portable document format, meaning anyone on any computer can open it with Acrobat Reader, and it won't change. The fonts will look the same, the pictures will look the same, so I'll be able to see your original file in all its glory and give you a wonderful grade on it. So that's how you save it, and that's what you're going to be uploading into the folder for me. So that's the end of this. You can see this is a very simple, you've done all the hard work now. This, what you have left to do is very simple.